to episode 57 of Around the Book podcast. This week, we're flying through the seasons right now. We're going to bring you NFL Week 6, Week 7 of college football. It's going to be over before we know it. But what did we do about last week? Anyone got any rants they want to go on or anything that they want to talk about from last week? Any bets?
It was crazy. Had really bad Saturday.
Oh, you were talking about bad Saturday, though. We can talk about a bad Saturday.
Couldn't hit anything. Almost hit a parlay. But then Tennessee just decided to crap their pants like every ranked SEC team last week.
Yeah, man, to be ranked in the SEC was not what you wanted to be last week.
No.
Yeah, college football very handedly kicked my ass last week. I was 8-3 from the as far as bets I actually remember that I made, record-wise from college football as of last week. And if you look there on the screen, 9-9 all of a sudden. So, yeah, 1-6 on the weekend. Not so great. I think the only team that didn't let me down was what was it? Washington. I picked to win. So
And I bet Michigan.
yeah. So everyone else, fuck me. So
Yeah, I'm right there with you, brother. I'm struggling in college football. I cannot see the board well at all. And it was just unreal. Like all the ranked teams going down the SEC. It was just we thought last week was going to suck, and now it was like one of the better weekends we've seen in a while, almost.
Vandy just rubbing it in was phenomenal.
Did you see someone made like a live tracker of the goalpost going through Nashville?
Yeah,
That's a long walk.
It was excellent.
3 miles to the river.
Hey, listen.
That's like a 45-minute walk or something. I was like,
Yeah.
Long walk.
With a big
Hey.
old goalpost.
Got to do it though.
Made a lot of money on NFL this weekend, though. Had a
Well, tell me
perfect
about it.
weekend. Hit my second parlay in a row. All
Love
of
to see
the
it.
expensive Shane and Casey's teams.
Correct.
Betting on
Unfortunately.
Arizona and Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it
Yeah.
too much.
I don't want to talk about it either. Fucking kickers, man. Fucking
If they don't
Michigan.
miss, they get hurt.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking
At
Michigan
least you
kickers.
guys have actual NFL teams to watch. So
Oh, well,
Well,
just wait for this
do
weekend. Dalton.
Do I have an actual NFL team to watch?
yes.
They look like hot ass right now. They
No,
suck.
you haven't.
Well, you
don't
didn't
know
get
hot
blown out
ass
by
until
Bo
you
Nix,
watch
so-
Gardner Minshew try to play.
Hey, you don't have to anymore.
when,
Yeah.
True. Now we get Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
somehow
Hey.
not an upgrade.
Shout out AOC.
Yeah.
I know you're watching out there.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah. All right, let's get into our bets. What are we
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about right now? Who's got some no fun bets?
I got
I
some
got-
NHL futures since
All right.
the season actually just kicked off last night. So I got 3 bets here. I got Stanley Cup winner. I'm taking the Rangers again. I tried it last year and it looked really good till really late in the Eastern Conference Finals. And then I think this year though they still have a great lineup, and it's just eventually I think once Lafreniere and Capo Caco really start to hit their stride at this
Shut up,
point.
Dalton. Who?
Capo Caco.
Okay. Sure.
22-year-old Finnish dude.
We're making shit up now.
He's
on
actually
the
really
podcast.
he's actually a really good player.
No, I actually
Top 5
believe
draft
it.
pick.
I believe it. I have not paid enough attention to the NHL recently, so I heard that name. Like, all right, hold on.
And then I got to win the President's Trophy, though. I do think that's going to be the Oilers. I think McDavid's going to be back with a vengeance this year, and I think they're going to have a great regular season and, again, choke in the playoffs. So I got the Rangers to win the Cup at plus 1,300. I got the Oilers to win the President's Trophy at plus 500. And then I made a little bit of a homer pick for the Calder Cup, or for the Calder Trophy, I mean. Not the Calder Cup, Calder Trophy for Rookie of the Year. I'm taking Flyers, Matevy Michkov. I think he probably wouldn't have won it had he gotten to the league when he should have, which probably should have been a year or two ago. But now that he's finally escaped Russia, he is here and he is gonna light the league up very quickly.
When you say escaped Russia,
So
was he a prisoner of war?
no, he was a prisoner of the KHL.
Okay, right. That's what I thought. Okay.
Although I think he might have spoken out against the. I don't know. You do things that Putin doesn't like, and you end up stuck there longer.
Yeah. I was gonna say, who did we trade for him?
It's an actual dynamic in the NHL
Yes.
and like
I know.
KHL.
There's a reason
Which is
why
just insane.
Ovechkin is very careful about how he talks about Vladimir Putin.
Right. Yeah. He's at least got to get the goals record, and then he can start talking crap. No, I'm just kidding. No. Okay. Cool.
All right. Anyone else got any unfun bets before we get into football?
Yeah, I got 2 MLB playoff series props. These playoffs have been crazy,
Yeah.
but I'm taking. So I got the Royals to win in 5 games, so just to win the series 3-2 at plus 330.
Okay.
They're tied at 2 right now, I think. I think it's the 8th inning.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 2-1 somebody, but both pretty much, or not both, all 3 of these games so far have been pretty close. So I don't think it'd be too crazy for it to go to 5 games. And I just have a vibe that the Yankees are going to choke this series somehow.
Yeah.
Can't really explain it, but it just feels like
Yeah.
you got
The
a young
Yankees,
up and
so.
coming Royals team and the Yankees team that disappoints every October. So I think
Yeah.
at plus 330 is pretty decent value too. And then I'm betting Dodgers to win the series right now at plus 295 on FanDuel. I don't honestly think the Dodgers are going to win, but I don't think I'll ever see them to win a series at plus 295 again. So I would say
That is
just
fair.
with how much talent there is
Yeah.
on that team, plus 295 just feels like something you could throw $5 on just in case, because that's crazy value. But
Yeah.
I
They are
do
up 3-0
think-
right now in the second inning, so hot start.
Okay, so that might have changed, but yeah, I don't know. Either way, it's great value. So
Yeah. All right. Shane, do you have anything unfun you want to bet on?
Well, my regular bet's probably not going to be that fun for me.
Okay.
So I'll say about that.
All right, let's get into it then. So my favorite pick right now, and it's a stinky one, is Kentucky minus 13.5 against Vanderbilt. And you see it so many times. These teams, they get to the peak of the mountain, only to get to the peak and fall right over the next week. So
I had the same thought earlier, Casey. I chose not to do it, but I respect you for
Yeah.
doing so.
And Kentucky has found a new life, and I don't know what got into this team. They looked like they were going to be terrible, but they actually look a little bit better now. So I'm going to take Kentucky minus 13.5.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that. Are we doing locks first, Casey? I don't remember if you said that or not.
Yes, locks. Sorry.
Locks.
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Alright.
Just want to make sure.
Alright, I'm into my lock here then. I'm taking Iowa State minus 3 against West Virginia at minus 112. It just feels really safe. West Virginia is just not a very good football team. I think they've got a couple impressive wins, but every week we see the Big 12, the less impressive any win in the Big 12 looks. And I think Iowa State might actually be at least somewhat legitimately decent. And I think they should have no problem winning this game. And covering a field goal is not that much to lay.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like that. Yeah, Big 12 is all over the place. It feels like. So I don't really. You can tell me any bet, and I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, my lock is BYU minus 4.5 at home against Arizona.
Love that.
Yeah,
Nice.
like that a
Yeah.
lot. Arizona has thoroughly disappointed me this year outside of one player. We all know who that player is. He's hard to miss. You know, so, but outside of him, they have not done a whole lot, and I feel like BYU, I will continue to hammer the uh, just for them to cover and win until they play somebody who I think is actually a challenge for them.
They've been very good in pro though too.
Yes, yeah. So I feel pretty
Especially the
confident
home
about
team.
that. Plus, like you give me less than a touchdown with that team coming in, like yeah, I'll take that. So.
Yeah.
All right. So I got this at minus 19.5, but I think right now it's at minus 21.5. But I'm taking Illinois spread against Purdue this week.
Ooh.
Purdue is just a really bad football team. They just
Yeah.
got. I'm sure you saw Shane, but they just got destroyed by Wisconsin.
Yeah,
Last
it
week.
did not move me, but they did in fact get beat by Wisconsin by a significant amount.
Yeah, they
We're
gave up
laughing a little bit.
52
Yeah.
points.
Yeah.
to
We're laughing a
Wisconsin.
little bit, Jake, because I think you weren't here when we were talking about something earlier. So,
No.
but it's nothing against what you're doing.
Yeah.
Just throwing. You'll hear later. You'll hear later.
Okay, that scares me a little bit, but
I don't know if we should necessarily be scared, but it is funny. So we'll talk about
Alright,
it
well,
later.
I don't see how Illinois doesn't win by 22 against Purdue. So
Fair enough.
That
Fair
is
enough.
my lock for the week.
All right.
I like
Fair
it.
enough.
Dalton, I guess I'll do our favorite pick, and then you can do our underdog. How about that? Since we
Oh, okay.
since
Oh,
we
wait.
both
Oh
had
yeah,
the
that's
same
right. We have the
pick.
same favorite pick too. Yeah.
All right, so favorite pick over 50.5 in the Red River rivalry,
Like
Texas
it.
Oklahoma. I'm glad I didn't stutter when I said that. Thought I was going to get tongue tied. This game is always a shootout. It doesn't matter if Oklahoma is ranked last and Texas is ranked first. Like it's going to be a shootout in this one. So give me over 50.5.
I like that.
For what it's worth, I got it at 49.5. A minus
Yeah.
108.
Nice. There you go.
I like it at 60.5 personally.
I
so
mean,
Yeah.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
gonna hit.
So-
Like it's gonna be both teams
Yeah.
are breaking 30.
yeah. All right, Shane.
So doing favorite bet first.
Yes.
My favorite bet, I'm going to go back to the well. It is done well for me. Betting against Kent State. Ball State minus 6.5 at Kent
Nice.
State. Ball State, not a good football team. Kent State, not even a football team, really, if you think
Yeah.
about it. So it's kind of like one of those things. It's like, yeah, one of these teams is bad, but the other one, kind of, you don't even know if they're on the field sometimes. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of, just take the touchdown. If it's under a touchdown, I'm probably taking it. You know what I mean? Against anybody else in the country, really. Hell, they lost to St. Francis, as I've said before, again, which is a school that I've driven past multiple times. Nice place, not really a football school. You know, I don't know if that's what you want to be losing to in the FCS. So, yeah, give me Ball State minus 6.5 over Kent State.
Here's the thought: if you put Kent State up against Texas, right?
Yes.
Kent
Oh,
State gets
boy.
to have 12 players in the field the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you taking?
Texas.
I'm still taking Texas. However, I would move the line down by like 20 points
Yeah.
because I think less touchdowns get scored, but I think Texas
yeah,
still
I
can hold
think-
the ball.
I still think they're. I mean, what do you think? Texas minus 30 then?
Yeah, I'd feel good about that still.
Yeah.
Because like they're probably not going to get as many big plays, but they're going to still just be able to go down the field probably.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, it just will take them longer, therefore they'll score less points.
Yep.
So, and having 12 people on offense for that team, don't know if that helps that much.
No.
No.
Because that 12th guy
One
shouldn't probably
extra
be playing. You
offensive
know
That's
what I mean?
yeah. That's one extra lineman or like one extra guy that's not running the right route.
They have two good receivers, kind of, and it's like they're already out there. So like,
Yeah.
who cares? So I don't know. It's tough out there for Kent State.
All right, I'm gonna do something kind of controversial.
Love it.
Uh-oh.
I'm taking a team off the ban list this week.
Oh,
I'm
if
taking
it's-
Oh,
Colorado
no.
plus.
There it
4.5.
is. There it is.
I knew it.
There it is. I was waiting. How long would it take for somebody to do
It's
it?
coming off. I'm pretty sure if they win this week, then they hit my future already. So
So
Okay.
hold on.
I'm
So hold on.
pleasantly
What's
surprised with
what's
them.
the line you took him at?
Plus, let me double check. I believe it's plus 4.5 against
Okay.
Kansas State. They are at
Alright.
home, and I just don't think Kansas State is that good. Their win over Oklahoma State last week doesn't
Yeah.
move me that much. I cannot. Yeah, it's plus 4.5.
Yeah.
I probably will regret this, but ever since that Nebraska game, I've actually been pretty happy with Colorado. They're about to hit my future already.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think Kansas State is that good, and it's in Colorado. The crowd's gonna be crazy.
Here's my thing, Jake. This is all I'll say. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
It's
that you
probably
shouldn't
gonna
do
be
this.
valid.
No, so you shouldn't. Not saying you shouldn't do this. I get it. You know, they've kind of earned their right off the ban list for at least you, obviously, right? I would have maybe let them hit the future first, before you
shit.
bet on them to win. That's just
shit.
to me, because like I feel like you're tempting fate there a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's like this could
Probably,
also
yeah.
hit my future, and then they're gonna not win, and you're gonna be like, shit. So that's just my thought, but I
Always
get
hedge
it.
against your own happiness.
That's exactly it. You always have to hedge against what would actually make you happier. So, but I get it though.
I'll wait to pass my judgment until next Wednesday when I see
Right.
the result.
Now, if they don't win this one, or if you lose that bet with them, then they're definitely firmly on the ban list.
Yeah.
Period. Forever.
Yeah,
We're
they're gonna need a really impressive win at that point to come back off. I really thought about this for a
cha-
second, but
if they don't cover this week, they're gonna need a championship.
Yeah.
The reason why
I need a playoff berth.
See, for me, the reason why I have them banned, it's not that they can't like blow teams out. It's that you just never know what they're gonna do.
Yeah, they're just so unpredictable typically until they're not, and then you're like, oh, okay, cool, and then you're back on the wagon, and then they're like, psych, actually,
Yeah.
3 interceptions from Shedeur
Because
Sanders.
basically, like, can the offensive line hold on enough for Shedeur to get the ball out to the receivers? That's pretty much the entire game. You just don't know.
Yes. So,
Yeah, we'll see. It could be a bad decision, but
I'm gonna
I would say
But
Kansas
they
State
can also
not
win that
good.
game. Like, it's not
Yeah.
unrealistic.
I'm gonna root for
They
them.
have the two best players in the field.
Yeah,
I'm
they
rooting
almost
for them.
always
I'm just
will.
gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait. See what happens.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna root for you, but I'm gonna stay over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Dalton.
All right.
Give us. This is the stinkiest play of them all. All right, give it.
So yeah,
Smell it from
this-
here.
there's not a lot of great upset picks this week, but Casey and I found one this week that's sneaky in that at plus 800, but we're both taking Purdue here at plus 800 money line. It's one of those that just the vibes feel right. Purdue's won their last two trips to Champaign. They've won the last 4 games in this series, and do we know for sure that Illinois is actually really good? Like, because they played Penn State somewhat close, but that could just be more about Penn State than Illinois, and Illinois really could just be a slightly above average Big Ten team, and while Purdue, not good,
Yeah.
they're going to win a couple games in this conference. Why not this one?
We'll know about by 12:30 Eastern if this bet's still alive or not.
Yeah.
And the game starts at 12.
Probably.
So.
Yeah.
The value, I think, is the big thing
Yeah.
here, though. It's
The
just
first,
the value.
the first 30 minutes of this game is what you need to sweat the most.
Yeah. I could see, I think Illinois is just as likely to cover this spread as Purdue is to win this game outright. Like,
Yeah.
you just don't know.
Rakes, guys. But no,
Sorry,
I
Jake.
get it. Yeah. Big Ten is real interesting. Let's
Yeah.
just say, very interesting conference. Moving on to upset picks, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Casey?
That was
Yeah.
me and Casey's upset
Yeah.
pick.
Right. My upset pick, I'll throw it out there. Oklahoma money line.
Ooh.
Quinn Ewers is supposed to be back in this game, and I will say, not that like he was playing at all bad before he went down. I feel like this is going to be the Quinn Ewers game where everybody's like, "What's this guy doing? Like, what's he got going on? He's coming off of injury. He has the pressure of playing well because Manning came in and showed that he was totally capable of running this offense, being this team's quarterback. It's a big game. It's on the road at Oklahoma. Like, this feels like that game that every year Quinn has, like, the great ridiculous game against a top opponent, and then he has the one where it's like, what are we doing, guys? Like, what are we doing here? And I still think he's got a little bit of that in him. He's thrown 14 career interceptions. 3 of those were at Oklahoma in his career in the 2 games he's played. He's kind of probably going to turn the ball over a couple times, in my opinion. That is going to be enough, I think, for Oklahoma to kind of grind it out. I know you guys had the over on that game. I could see that still happening with this. I could see like a shootout situation where they still were able to outscore him. But I just kind of have a feeling it's going to be the letdown game. And the SEC has been getting hammered with the upsets the past couple weeks, and I think this is going to be one of them.
Yeah, I like that. I was thinking about that one too. So
I can see it.
Plus 470 on that, by the way.
yeah,
So, happy with that.
Yeah. This could be. Is Jackson Arnold still starting for them?
I don't think so. I think it's the true freshman guy. I forget what his name is right now, but he played pretty well.
yeah.
Runner more of than a passer right now. So,
Yeah, it could be an interesting game. I like that bet.
All right. My underdog this week, I'm going to go with Arizona State money line against Utah at plus 164.
ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
I think Arizona State is a sneaky good team. They just came off a tough win against Kansas, but more importantly for this bet, I don't think Utah is that good. They just lost to an Arizona team that I also don't think is that good. So that
Yes.
is not a ringing endorsement in my ears. And I think Arizona State has the second best running back in the country.
Ooh.
That
Yeah,
might be a
he's
bit of a
been-
hot take,
He's
but
been pretty good.
he just churns out rushing yards.
It's fair.
And I feel like at plus 164, I feel like it's pretty good value as well. But I think this game is going to end up being close. Arizona
Utah
State's at
games be
home.
close.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I think it's pretty decent value here.
Yeah, I like that pick.
I have Utah -6 in my parlay.
Oh no.
All right, go
There's
ahead,
one Cam Rising might play this week. They're coming off a bye. And also I think whether Cam Rising's healthy or not, I think the bye, even if it is Isaac Wilson, I think him having that bye week is going to really help with his growth. And I do think Utah just has a lot more talent, and I think their defense will be able to allow them to cover a touchdown. Because I'm not convinced Arizona State's that good.
Well,
That's
hey,
fair.
you guys have that going on. You have the Purdue nonsense. So,
Yeah,
hey,
I don't know if, and
you know,
And we're rivals
Hopefully-
this week.
and Jake's
Cancel
been a
each
lot
other
better
out?
in college football than I am.
should cancel each other out, maybe.
So I'm
I
not
don't
feeling
know.
great about this.
That's tough. That's tough. It's funny though.
All right, who has college parlays?
I do.
I do as well.
Let's hear
I
it.
do as well.
I'll give mine first here. So obviously the bets that I already mentioned, but I'll mention them again. So James Madison -9.5. I think they're going to bounce back from last week. That was a rough
Yeah.
game, but I don't think Coastal Carolina. I know they're 4-1. I don't really think they're that good, to be honest with you. Like
Yeah.
they just don't. I just don't think they are. Obviously, I already mentioned Ball State -6.5. I have Penn State -4.5 at USC. I think USC has proven in their 3 Big Ten games that they can't handle Big Ten play. That's kind of where I'm at with that. I think Penn State can win that game on the
You
road.
got a lot more faith in James Franklin than I do.
I get it,
I
but I
refuse
just
to bet that game because
fair.
I just don't want to set myself up for double disappointment.
I get it. I just again I feel like they're especially if Singleton's healthy. I think that they're just a better football team in general, and I think that their style of play travels. That's
Oh,
what
I agree.
Yeah.
I
So-
agree with all that.
Yeah, but I get it. The Franklin, whatever. But yeah, we'll see. Oklahoma money line, obviously. BYU -4.5. I mentioned Ohio State -3.5. I don't trust Oregon's offense as much as I should, and that bothers me. And I think Ohio State is rolling offensively. Although again, it's not the best competition. I just think they're a better football team, even at Oregon. And then Boise State -20.5 at Hawaii. Ashton Genty runs for 400 yards by halftime. We all praise him, and we move on with our day.
He's so awesome.
Yeah, that dude's sick.
He's the best.
I almost had that one in my parlay. My only fear there is Boise State having to travel to Hawaii.
Right,
Yeah.
like I get that late
Yeah.
game, 11 o'clock
But,
game, but
Ashton Genty,
yeah, he's better than Hawaii's team. So
Yeah.
that's what it comes down to.
I can knock out my parlay real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I just got 3 picks. I got the aforementioned Utah -6,
Ooh boy.
taking BYU -5 against Arizona, and then finally I got Stanford +24 against Notre Dame. Stanford's burned me once or twice this year, but
Would this get them on the ban list, perhaps, if they don't cover?
maybe.
Okay. I was just
Maybe
wondering.
it might not be so much as a banned list as so much as like I wouldn't bet Stanford. I would probably stop betting Stanford for the same reason I don't bet Conference USA teams.
Fair enough.
Like they're just not like it's just you don't want to bet too much on bad football teams.
Yeah.
Right.
But this is more just betting on Notre Dame to not rise to the occasion in a rivalry game that they should win handily. And also, I just don't know if a team with Riley Leonard at quarterback is going to cover 24 points very often.
Sure doesn't seem like it.
Yeah. So those 3 together parlay at +578.
Nice.
Nice. Right. I got 3 more picks. One of them I'm going Oregon money line at +132 against Ohio State this week. I'm sorry, Casey.
No, it's all right.
Just apologize to me. I got Ohio State -3.5. Jake. Jake's like,
sorry
oh,
as
you
well,
guys,
Sam.
all you got your shit.
Well,
Fuck you.
I'm
So
bad at-
you know what the score of that game's going to be, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be.
21-20 Ohio State.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. We all just lose.
Yeah.
It's Ohio State and Notre Dame all over again.
Oh,
Jeremiah
God,
Smith
dude,
just
that
scores
was
a
so
70-yard
bad.
touchdown to win the game. No time left.
Yeah.
was so
I think
bad.
Oregon's looked a bit better as the season's gone on, and that close win at home to Boise State in the beginning of the year. I think I bet on them in that game and they didn't cover, and I was mad. And I was like, how do you open your season with barely beating Boise State? But that
And then you
looks
saw
a
Ashton
bit
Genty
better now.
back.
Yeah, it looks a little better now. So I don't know. I think it's going to be close. I'm just going to take the team at home,
That's fair.
+132, and then.
That's fair.
I'm also taking Cal at +3.5 against Pittsburgh. I think they're going to be pretty pissed off after blowing a 25-point lead at home. But I do think that game showed that Cal's not a great program right now, but they're not a bad program. And they've played some tough games. They went on the road, beat an SEC team in Auburn, almost beat Florida State on the road, which isn't saying much, but
Yeah.
I mean, it shows that they're able to win tough games, and they've played pretty tough in the ACC. They really should have
Yeah.
beat Miami.
I mean, yeah,
Last
they
week.
they won that game.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the refs cheated. Like it's that
Yeah,
simple.
that was I don't
Break
even
out
wanna
the
get into that. That was
conspiracy,
crazy.
guys. Let's do it.
But yeah, anyways, I feel like they can cover by a field goal
Yeah.
or just lose by.
Side note: has there ever been 2 worst wins back to back for a program in the top 10 than what Miami just had? That you can think of, because remember, that memorably winning, but still feeling like they lost, back to back games like that. It's been a while for me. I can't think of a
Yeah.
good one.
I mean, up until like we realized how good Boise State was, those 2 wins for Oregon over Idaho and Boise
Yeah.
State
That's
were
fair.
not looking great.
Yeah.
fair, but those have aged good though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
True.
mean,
Well,
especially
I have no
Boise
idea
State.
what Idaho is.
They still have a program.
Yeah.
There's
It's
still
better
like
than-
They're
That
doing
we
something
know
in
of.
the FCS.
They're
still
a
playing
very
football.
Solid FCS team.
Yeah.
Right.
They are.
I think they're
So-
like number 9 in the FCS right now.
That's pretty
Alright.
respectable.
Yeah.
A lot better than a lot of the teams. It means they're probably better than half the teams in FBS right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. So
Very true.
yeah,
Yeah.
Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And then my
Oh, sorry, Jake.
sorry, this is an easy pick. I'm taking Georgia -33.5 against Mississippi State because Mississippi State is really bad.
Yeah.
Um,
Georgia's
Yeah.
on my personal ban list.
Didn't you bet them in like kind of dumb ones though? Casey, no offense. Like weren't they kind of like not ones that easily could lose though? Kind of too.
It was Alabama, and they were -1.5. I was like, let me do an alternate line at -6.5.
Okay,
then
well
I-
come on. All right, is that
And
ban
then I-
listable?
Yeah, well, then I chased it all night.
Alternate line.
I chased it all night.
Alternate line.
Against Alabama.
I chased it all night. And then, well, no. I'm sorry, not against Alabama. Against Kentucky.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I was gonna
Against
say I'm like
Kentucky, I
wait.
took alternate lines.
I was
I
gonna say
did
wait.
take one against Alabama as a long shot, but I did take the -1.5 and then chased it all night
Okay.
live.
Hey,
Just
so did
chased it
Georgia
live.
chased it all that night live
Yeah,
too,
they
man.
did. So,
That had to have been a ride.
oh my God, it was pissing me off so much.
That
Because I was like, all right,
touchdown must have made
yeah.
you have a stroke.
God,
Ryan Williams, he's 17, just running
Yeah.
down the field.
he's so
It's
good.
crazy.
There's just so many good players coming out of college here in the next couple of years. It's gonna be awesome.
Hmm.
All right. So let's get in the NFL. Oh yeah, there was one team I want to, or one thing I would be pissed about. It's myself. I'm never betting against the Chiefs again. Every damn time it just
Yeah, I
comes
feel
and
that.
Yeah,
bites me
just
in
when
the
you think
ass.
it's over, Juju Smith-Schuster, 130-yard performance.
Yes, it's just like Travis Kelsey's going off now. Like, what's going on? He has been nowhere to be found, and all of a sudden he just has this amazing first half. And it's like, what the hell is going on, dude?
You know, did you guys know that Juju's only target that wasn't a catch was the interception?
That tracks.
His only that man caught 7 of 8 targets, I think it was, for 130 yards in the year 2024.
We need to
And
take.
his only target that he didn't catch was the interception he dropped on the end zone.
All right,
They
yeah, so
still
let-
covered. Stupid.
So I'm just tired of betting against the Chiefs. I just get burned on it every time.
Have you thought about betting on the Chiefs to see if you can reverse the fortune?
I
for
can't
them?
do that to myself.
That's fair. I get that. I guess
You might
just
have
leaving
to
it
just
alone
take
is
one
probably
for
for
the
the
team.
best. Yeah. Yeah. It might just be the best. Just
Yeah,
not
I'm
do
just
it.
gonna leave it alone. Like I
Yeah.
think the Niners play them next week, and I'm just like, I'm not even gonna bet it. I'm just gonna let it go. I'm just gonna get ready to get disappointed. All right, let's get in the NFL. So my lock of the week. Oh, all right. My lock of the week's gonna be the Colts plus 2.5 against the Titans. Division game. I don't know if Flacco's playing or not. Who cares? Titans. I don't even know what's going on in Tennessee, really. It's like you just don't know what you're going to get whenever you turn on a Tennessee Titans game. And then with the Colts, every time you think that they're just going to go out there and lay an egg, they just do something miraculous and win or put up 30-something points. So,
Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco effect. So Colts plus 2.5.
I like it.
I like that.
So for my lock this week, I'm taking the over in the Cardinals Packers game at -112. Over 48. I just think that's fairly low for a game where you got two teams that have some pretty explosive offenses and can't really play defense. So both these teams played high scoring games all year. This should be no different.
Yeah.
This should break 50 easy.
I like that. My lock is also an over 48.5 in the Giants and Bengals game. Giants offense showed some life even without Malik Neighbors. I believe he's back this week, unless I'm mistaken. And the Bengals can't stop anybody. So I feel like they probably will win this game. Fine, they'll probably get another win under their belt, in my opinion. But I do think there's gonna be a lot of points scored in this game. Could see easily, like I'd probably take this. You could throw it up to like 54. I still might take the over. So it feels pretty good. I got that at -105. So
Nice.
Yeah. I like that.
My lock of the week is the Chargers -2.5 against the Broncos. The Broncos are not as good as the 34 points that they scored on the Raiders last week. The Raiders are bad. And the Chargers are coming off a bye. I think they're better coached. I think they're pretty similar on defense. The Broncos might be a little better, but I trust the Chargers offense more I think they're going to
Herbert
run
should
the
be
ball a lot.
healthier. Yeah.
The Raiders were able to get a run game going for most of the first half last week, and the Raiders' run game has sucked this entire year. I think the Chargers are going to run over the Broncos, and yeah, give me them to win by a field goal. I just think they're a much better team than Denver. They're minus 2.5 favorites right now, and they're on the road, so neutral slot game. They're probably about 5.5 point favorites. So yeah, I think the Chargers can win by a field goal this week.
Fair enough. I like how you're just like, well, the Raiders are bad, and they
Yeah.
so like it doesn't matter what they did against the Raiders.
Yeah.
Taking the charge.
Pretty much. I mean,
fair.
Yeah.
The Broncos are not a good team, and I cannot believe Bo Nix put up 30 points last week.
Well,
Yeah.
the only reason
Well, I guess
that
he put up 20 something, but
I mean, the Raiders literally had them dead to rights and just handed all the momentum.
it was
to
about to
them.
be 17-3.
Yeah.
In like the very beginning of the second quarter.
That Pat Surtain pick six,
It
man.
went.
That was crazy.
And then they followed up with 3 straight 3-and-outs. One where they just ran for it on 3rd and 5, and then didn't go for it on 4th and 2.
Yeah.
That is a Mike Tomlin special. You guys pulled
So
that out of his
They
playbook.
did that at the Broncos like 40-yard line. So
Yeah.
even the
And then
announcer,
just punted.
as soon as they run the ball, the announcer's like, well, they're
Oh,
obviously
setting
going
up
to go
fourth
for
down.
it.
Yes, setting up fourth down.
Yeah.
And then they go,
Even
they
let
go out there
Carlson
and
kick
punt
it.
it. Yeah, they go out there and punt it on 4th and 2 at the 40-yard line after
Wait.
running it on 3rd and 5.
Elite.
Yeah.
And then
Punt
Minshew
situation.
threw another terrible interception not long after. It was bad. It was so bad.
Yeah.
Like
That
I know
Broncos
you
team
can
is
see
not-
why Devontae Adams wanted out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hamstring's really bothering him. I heard
Yeah.
so.
That hamstring is similar to Russell Wilson's calf injury.
Yeah. Maybe they can be
Not
have
really that bad.
they could be teammates. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah.
Probably not.
All right. So a pick I love this weekend. I'm going Texans -7 against the Patriots. Patriots are just hot garbage, and they're going with Drake May this week. It looks like.
Yeah. Which this week really?
God rest his soul.
Just what we're doing?
This man is going to get destroyed back there. Texans -7. I would take an alternate line on this, but have been burnt on that recently. So
He looks his alternate lines, man.
yeah. So I'm going
Love it.
Texans -7.
I like that.
Can we talk about how the Patriots are doing the right thing for a while, and then they're like, nah.
I
We're
know,
done with
like,
it.
dude.
I know.
It's like I don't even know who your left tackle is currently.
Yeah. Like this is why you signed Jacoby Brissett to be
Yeah.
a tackling dummy.
Yeah, you set him out there. He gets his ass beat. He gets paid for however much money he's getting paid,
He's
and then he gets to
durable.
play for someone else next year.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. It's great.
And then Drake May just gets to watch up close, and hopefully they build a line around him.
Yeah, because we're talking shit. He's gonna put up 35 points this week.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what are you gonna do? It's inevitable.
Yeah.
Good.
So bet I love this week. I feel like the theme of the week is going to be overs. I'm taking the over 51.5 at -108 in the Commanders-Ravens game. I mean, talk about a team with two quarterbacks that might be playing better than anybody in the league right now,
Yeah.
and two defenses that cannot stop anyone, especially through the air. This is gonna be a shootout. I don't know if we'll see a punt the whole game.
I would
we
love
might
that.
not. Like,
I would love that.
I mean it.
I don't think we will.
I wouldn't
Could be
punt
fun.
if I had
Yeah.
these two quarterbacks. Bet I love, and this one is a little bit of kind of. This is my way of like, how do I put this? I'm trying to throw the city of Cleveland a bone here, and it's not them winning this game. It's in fact Philadelphia -9.5. Them getting absolutely blown out by this Eagles team that's getting Devontae Smith back, that's getting A.J. Brown back. And this is my way of saying, Cleveland, this is going to be the opportunity for Kevin Stefanski to go up there at the podium and say, I don't care if they fire me tomorrow for doing it. Deshaun Watson will not play football for this team ever again. That's what I'm kind of hoping for that city, for them. It needs to happen. I'm hoping an absolutely disgusting blowout loss is what it takes to do it. against a team that has not looked very good. Granted, again, they should look better because of the players coming back, and that's also part of why I'm betting it this way. But I just think the Browns need something to happen that's catastrophic enough to end this experiment. And this is what I think it will be.
Yeah. Shane, I'm not gonna lie. It took a little bit for you to get to the part where you were throwing them a bone. I was like, are you just shitting on them the whole time?
No, but I'm doing this for them. This is what needs to happen.
I'm betting against them, and I
Yeah.
hope they get destroyed.
But that's what they need, Jake.
But here's the thing. Is Jameis Winston any less frustrating to watch than Deshaun Watson? Other than the
So
fact
much
that
more
he's-
fun to watch.
He
He's
is
so
going
much
to
more
be,
fun.
yes, it will be probably not more successful, Dalton. However, they're not paying him however much money to go out there and actively be bad at football.
Yeah.
Jameis can go out there and be bad at football, and everybody can laugh about it afterwards, right?
Yeah.
We can go, look at Jameis. He threw 3 picks to the other for no reason at all.
Yeah.
But it was fun. We had a
Yeah.
good time.
Got an awesome
He
soundbite.
hit Jerry Judy on a 70-yard bomb.
Yes, exactly. So at least it will be more fun for them to watch, right?
Yeah.
It'll be slightly easier to root for him, although he has some stuff in his past as well. But we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
At this point, nobody can be probably worse in that situation besides Deshaun, so who cares? And also you hope that Winston's bad, and then maybe Dorian Thompson-Robinson steps in. That's fun, right?
Yeah.
Hey, that's what I'm doing. So yeah, that's what we'll do this week.
That's nice of you, though.
Yeah. Hey, when you're this bad, if you're the Browns, like you get, it's hard to really be, it's hard not to feel bad for them a little bit. Although they did this to themselves, so I guess it's whatever.
All right. One bet I love this week was gonna be the Colts plus 2.5. Casey kind of already covered that, so I'm gonna pick the Tampa Bay Buccaneers minus 3.5 against the Saints. Tampa Bay is on the road, but I think they are better than the Saints anyways. But especially, I like Spencer Rattler, and I think he can have a good NFL career, but I don't think he's gonna have a good first game against Tampa Bay. I at least don't think he's going to be good enough to lose by a field goal or less. I think Tampa Bay. No, they played on Thursday night. They're not coming off a bye, but they have a week and a half rest. They're
needed
playing a
it for that
team that's
defense.
kind of free falling after a 2-0 start. Yeah, they can win this by 4 points.
Yeah.
I like that bet. That's one of the ones I have in my parlay too. I just think Tampa, they want to win this game. Obviously, they want to try to keep their tie at least with the Falcons in the division, or technically a little bit behind because they lost to them. But like the defense needed some time to rest. I'm not sure if anybody's that's missing is truly back this week. I have to double check, but they needed that time off a little bit. I think facing a Todd Bowles defense in your first start is not ideal,
Yeah.
depleted or not. So
All right. So let's get into our underdogs. Before we do, I think it's Jake against the podcast this week, it feels like.
it does.
Good luck to you, Jake. Hopefully you're the one telling us to all eat shit next Wednesday.
I probably won't be, but I can hope.
Probably not, but
All right. So my underdog, I'm not going to overthink it. I'm just going to ride the hot hand. Washington Commanders money line plus 235 against the Ravens.
I like
I'm
it.
just not gonna overthink it. I'm not gonna think that this is gonna be the week they downfall. We're not talking about that right now. Knock on wood if you got any wood around you.
Well, if you never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Washington. Well, if this bet hits, Washington Commanders plus 235 money line.
Casey, I'm so worried. I'm
Oh,
so
God.
worried.
Me too.
Oh,
Casey,
God.
I
I got
also,
it.
that was my
What do you
underdog,
think,
so
yeah.
I feel really bad.
Yeah.
Did everyone
I might
pick
curse
that?
this for you.
I mean, it's just if it is a shootout, the value's really good because I mean, I really think
Yeah.
this just come down to who has the ball last. And,
I had to do
I'm
it.
so concerned at how there's no way, Casey, that we're both gonna have this good of a weekend. And I'm just too worried about how much we're matched up on these picks this week.
Yeah.
You're getting a 4-1 team at plus 235.
I know. It's
That's what I'm
insane
saying.
value.
Insane.
Against
You guys
the
all have
Ravens.
that?
Yeah, that was.
I do not.
Oh, okay.
I do not have it, so I'm the contrarian there, I think.
Yeah.
I have in my parlay, I have Baltimore -6.5. Not that I think the Commanders are necessarily going to fall back down to earth or anything like that. I just think that as bad as the Ravens defense is capable of being, the Commanders
Yeah.
defense sometimes doesn't exist. So to me, it's like I think they're going to make it a fun game. It's going to be a shootout, but if I'm going to bet one way or the other, I'm taking the Ravens to cover in that situation.
Yeah.
But I hope you guys are right, honestly, because I'd rather see the Ravens lose.
I was gonna say we're trying to throw you a bone.
I know, really, actually. Not that it's going to help the
That
Steelers. It won't help the
means
Steelers.
what's going to happen is Baltimore is going to win on a walk-off touchdown in overtime and win by 6.
God,
Yeah,
well, I
it's going to be like
We're all
38
gonna get
to.
screwed.
There's going to be like 30. Would be 37 to 31 or
yeah,
something stupid.
something like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, for sure. So is that your upset too, Dalton, or do you have one?
Yeah. Me and Jake and Casey all, I think, had.
Well,
I'll give
my
another
upset. Okay,
But you
well, you
know-
go
No,
ahead. You go ahead,
Jake,
Jake.
Jake, go for it on the vibes. We have to do this unless you're strong.
Well, he's still doing it. I think he just has another one he can do.
No, yeah, trust me, I'm still doing that. I have another bet, an underdog though. I try to pick 2 every week. I probably will regret this one, and I honestly can't really explain why I'm taking it, which is probably not the best intro to this, but I'm taking the Raiders plus 136.
Oh no!
I get that.
Oh no!
I don't know how to explain it because
Oh, I can explain it.
the Raiders are bad, and this is not because I think Aiden O'Connell is that much of an upgrade, but it just has. I've seen a lot of really close Raiders-Steelers games over the years, especially
have.
when the Raiders are at home. I think they used to have like a 4 or 5 game winning streak at home, but I know
Oh,
they dropped
yeah.
a couple in recent years. But
Last year, I think they
Steelers are
dropped the
good,
home one.
and their defense is scary, but they do have a couple injuries now on defense.
Couple.
Um, they got injuries everywhere.
Yeah.
But the Steelers are good, and they're definitely a better team than the Raiders, but they play a lot of close games, and the Raiders really like to play to the level of their competition. So yeah, I'm just taking them at plus 136. I don't know. This could totally be a Steelers blowout. I wouldn't
So,
even doubt that. but
you
just
know,
off the
Jake,
vibes.
I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to talk about this team. I'm gonna take my hat off because I don't want to wear my hat when I say what I'm about to say about my football team. We're not good right now, specifically because of the injuries, but because of that, we have one way of winning games, right? And it's pretty much let TJ Watt and insert one of Alex Highsmith and Nick Herbig opposite of him and just be better than your offensive line on third downs. Like that's kind of the whole blueprint. When we don't have at least somebody opposite of TJ Watt that's worth something, that doesn't really work. And the offensive game plan every week is let's score 17 points. And if our defense gives up 18, we'll try again next week. So, when you're missing some offensive line starters from the beginning of the year, when your running back, the only one that's healthy, either has no holes to run through or it closes up because it takes them 8 minutes to get to the hole, or, whatever it may be, one of your receivers decides to, jog most of the game instead of run routes. I'm not sure what that's about still. It's not going to work, right? If you can't beat a Cowboys team that was giving you the game in every way they could, just throwing the ball up to nobody. Dak was just throwing picks to nobody. I don't know what he was doing half the time. Didn't matter because the offense can't score points because they don't want to score points, Jake. That's the problem. I'm talking to you specifically since you made this bet. And you're right, because I picked the Raiders to beat my team this week, which means they're probably going to find a way to win. And it will honestly make me more mad because they'll still win in a stupid way. It's not going to be like they finally figure it out on offense. It's not going to be like they let Justin Fields out there. It's going to be because TJ Watt somehow beats eight blockers you put in front of him because Isaiah freaking Loudermilk's the other edge rusher on half the plays this week probably. It's going to be because of something like that. They're going to win 14-10. And everyone's going to dislike it except for, one weird Steelers fan in his basement who's like, oh, defense, yeah. That's the only guy that's going to enjoy it. So,
The
I
funniest thing about
appreciate
this-
you for doing
The funniest
that.
thing about this is I picked the Raiders and you picked the Steelers, and we both are just talking about how much our team sucks.
I didn't pick the
Like,
Steelers.
why
I
this-
have them picking. I picked them to lose.
Oh, you picked the Raiders?
So that's your underdog is the Raiders this week, Shane.
No, that was my
Oh.
pick in the Steel Curtain podcast
Okay.
today. If you,
It's a hat back
yeah,
on,
I
like,
talked
it's
about
never
it.
happened.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear what you just said.
Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, I had to take it off.
Aiden O'Connell fits the vibes
He
to
does.
go into the name to go along with the names of other obscure Raiders quarterbacks that have beaten the Steelers over the last
Just
15
the
years.
obscure quarterbacks in general. Bailey Zappi beat
Bruce
us last year.
Gronkowski, Terrell
Don't forget the
Pryor.
Bruce Gronkowski
I think
drive.
Andrew Walter might have won one.
Probably. Sounds
It was
right.
either Andrew Walter or Jamarcus, I think.
Yeah,
Has
one
won
of the
over
two.
Steelers.
One of the two. I don't know. So yeah, Jake, I think that it shouldn't even honestly probably be an underdog pick. I think it should be like a neutral game. It really because it does not matter what team the Steelers play. They're going to try to win by 3 anyway. So it doesn't
You
matter.
underestimate the Raiders' level of.
Oh, I get it. I understand why they're favored, like
But-
from the numbers. I just don't think the Steelers
Yeah.
want to play a brand of football that could allow them to beat a team by more than like 4 points, unless the other team really tries not to.
That's
Like,
a good
it's-
point.
Yeah. So, my upset though, not going to be that because again, I already picked it in my Steelers centric show. I'm not doing it twice. That feels like being mean to them at this point, so I'm not going to do it twice. Cardinals over the Packers. Jordan Love is not playing great football right now, especially the kind of football he was playing the back half of last year. I think he will get back to that. Feels like he's a slow starter kind of guy, and then you factor in the injury that's not helping. One of his receivers just like mutinied himself. Still not sure what that's about with Romeo Dobbs. I guess he's supposed to play this week, but they were like, "Sorry, bud, you're not playing this week because you like quit on the team or something."
Yeah.
I don't know. Weird stuff's going on with the offense. They somehow look significantly better with Malik Willis at quarterback, which that's something that we'll talk about for years probably when Willis is a backup for next 10 years somewhere. But I just feel like the Cardinals, despite them not being able to play defense, I like their offense a little bit more in terms of like the potential to go off truly. Right now, I think Love is still a little bit too turnover prone currently, and I think he could get a couple even against a bad defense with Arizona. So
Love it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, and Arizona's just looking great now. Like, I think that before last season, I never really thought the Cardinals could be what they are right now.
hey, Kyler Murray's coming back. I've always been a
Yeah.
fan of him. I know some people had him like as like the 26th best quarterback coming in the year because they're like,
Yeah.
Call of Duty ACL injury.
Yeah.
Oh.
To be fair, I don't think they beat the 49ers if your kicker doesn't break his leg.
I agree, but
Right. However,
you
I
have
mean,
to
that
play
comeback
the
is
game.
still sick, but
Yeah.
Still a win.
Yeah.
a win is a win is a win.
All right, let's not talk about it. I'm going to start going off on a rant.
sorry to bring it up, mother.
No, you're good. No, I'll just start ranting. All right.
Brock
who-
Turdy.
Don't say that. No, come on. He's the one shining light on that team.
Nah, he's fine.
You went straight from laughing to don't say that.
Yeah.
Don't say
Don't
that.
say that.
Don't say
now,
that.
now, if you want to like make fun of someone else, that's fine. But don't. Come on now.
Who would you rather me make fun of?
Phil
You want me to
Parlay?
make fun of someone else?
You can make fun of Jordan Mason's dumbass for fumbling at the end of the game.
I'd rather blame Christian's
Shane.
tendonitis or whatever the hell he's
Yeah.
got.
All right,
So.
so let's get your guys' NFL parlay before we do our TD parlay.
Cool. Alright. I'll get mine quick. Full disclosure, my laptop might die. But
All right.
should be
Quick,
alright.
quick.
So I got Bears -2. They're still looking solid, and I don't think the Jags are very good at all. I think last week was a fluke. I got Falcons -6 because they're playing the Panthers. Enough said there. I mean, the Panthers are just a bad football team. And the Falcons look pretty good right now.
Yeah.
And then I got the Bills -2 against the Jets, who I think are crumbling. I do think the players might revolt because they fired the guy who's very clearly not the problem. And so those 3 picks parlay together at +589.
Love it.
Pretty good.
Shane, you got a parlay?
Yeah, I got Lions -3 at the Cowboys.
Love that.
Just better football team, and
Yeah.
Cowboys are coming off of a surprising to pretty much everybody except for Dalton win. So I think they're kind of due for a disappointing loss, and if a team that can actually run the football instead of just the idea of running the football might be able to actually beat them. Bears, I also have that done, but I got a -1.5 for whatever reason on FanDuel. Tampa Bay -3.5, Baltimore -6.5, Eagles -9.5, and Cardinals money line, and the over 48.5 with the Giants and Bengals. Plus 14,054
Well, something like.
on a 7 game. So hey, I've almost hit like 3 different 7 games this year. So one of these
Yeah.
I might eventually hit.
Just gotta keep going.
I do.
Hmm.
The only bet that I haven't already talked about that I'm taking is Texans -7.
And okay, you have that too, Casey, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Love it.
Makes so much sense, right, guys? Which is
It
why
makes-
I'm like,
it-
I'm gonna leave it alone.
Yeah, it makes too much sense, which is why you shouldn't bet it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
sit
I'm gonna leave
there
that
and-
one alone and just sit there whenever my
Yeah.
when my Cardinals bet doesn't hit, but the Texans win by 30.
Yeah, literally fast forward 7 days exactly, and I'm gonna be cussing out the Texans next week for.
You're gonna be
whatever
calling
I
for
like.
D'Amico Ryans to get
Yeah.
fired, CJ Stroud
Yeah,
to go to be the backup.
Yeah, they're gonna lose or something.
350 yards.
yeah,
Hey, one thing I will mention though, Nico Collins out does complicate things for
It
this
does.
offense a little bit because him and Stroud are kind of
Yeah.
the duo right now.
yeah.
Dalton
So-
Schultz game.
Dalton Schultz game.
Kate Stover game.
It's-
All right.
Jesus Christ,
All
forgot
right,
he was on that game.
let's do the TD parlay before Dalton's computer dies. All right, I'm going. This is a homer pick. Deebo Samuel anytime touchdown. He always steps up against the Seahawks, Rams. Even though he didn't step up against the Rams 2 weeks ago, that was Kyle's fault. Deebo Samuel getting a touchdown tomorrow night.
That's fault. That's funny.
I got Zay Flowers this week because I think you could probably put together a pretty solid 4-leg parlay of just this game. I think everyone's going to score, and Flowers is quickly becoming the top option in Baltimore.
Yeah,
I got a Xavier Legette plus 290. My touchdown streak finally ended last week. I couldn't even tell you who I bet. I do not remember. I have to go back and look. However, still pretty solid on the year. So I'm going to take my chances on a guy that has played pretty well. I think the Panthers need a shot in the arm offensively after kind of a hot start with Dalton. Would love to see him play more for their sake, and also I do think he's definitely a threat to score at any time. So
Nice. I'm going with Marvin Harrison Jr. He went crazy in weeks 2 and 3. He's still been good, but a little bit more quiet the past 2 weeks. But the Packers are not that great defensively, and I think he's just always a threat for the end zone. And I got him at plus 165, which feels like
Yeah.
really good value.
yeah,
even though he has been quiet these past 2 weeks, his catches have been in like crucial moments. Like,
clutch.
yeah, just.
Yeah, that 4th down play against.
Gosh,
San
dude.
Francisco. I'm sorry.
No,
Casey.
I thought that was gonna sail out of bounds, and then I saw Harrison like looking up, and I was like, "Oh, he's gonna catch this."
It must hurt especially bad for you, Casey, knowing your allegiance to Ohio State as well.
Yeah,
really,
dude.
just like
Hero
damn.
turned villain.
I like looked at my wife, and I was like, "That fucking sucked," but I love Marvin Harrison Jr.,
Yeah.
so I'm proud of him.
Sick, dude, but also fuck you.
Yeah. So yeah, if you take Debo, Zay Flowers, who I love, dude, he's almost like a little Tyreek Hill out there. Almost it seems like he's just so quick, gets open, just like I'm loving him. Xavier Legette, awesome. The way he talks, his accent is awesome. And then Marvin Harrison Jr.
That's your analysis. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
Marvin Harrison Jr. awesome. Yeah, so if you take that plus 3,959, a little something to hold on to.
Healthy.
Yeah. So, any other picks before we close out the show tonight? No. All right.
Hey, we didn't go for an hour and a half, guys.
We didn't.
No,
We're
Can you
gonna
kept
believe
it under
it?
an hour.
we
we
kept it under an
didn't-
hour, everyone.
We didn't bullshit so
Yeah.
hard that people forgot what was going on halfway through.
Now, if you missed that half hour of talking, watch the NFL show.
Yes, which will likely be this Friday afternoon based on what I've gotten from people so
Okay.
far. So that's the plan. Could change, but that's the plan. And all I'll say is my Jacksonville pick to win. Never in doubt.
Yeah.
Never in doubt. The streak continues. It has now been more than 10 years since the Colts have won a game at Jacksonville. and there's a chance that I think there's a solid shot that people will be able to get their permit who were alive before that
Oh
streak
God.
ends. It just feels like one of those streaks that's like there's probably some weird Patriots one from like back in like Brady
Yeah.
era where like they won like 28 consecutive road games against one of
Yeah.
those teams, like something stupid like that.
Jets.
But like, yeah, Jets probably, Bills too, maybe, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's going to be like that level of bad. I feel like something about that just doesn't feel right ever for the Colts. So
One quick tangent, real quick. Does it feel like the Chiefs are going to go undefeated this year and losing the Super Bowl like the Patriots did? All right, thanks everyone for watching episode 57
No.
of Around the Book podcast. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Let us know if you take any of our picks. Tweet at us if you have any picks you want us to look at. We appreciate you guys watching. We'll be live again at 9:30 Eastern next Wednesday for episode 58. And we're over the 50% mark in college football next week, so it's getting scary. Yeah, it is sad. I think this week's either halfway or we're over the halfway. But anyways, before Dalton's computer dies, thank you everyone for watching. Have a good one.